Bush, as you reviewed the film, I know you said in the moment after the game, what impressed you about Cutter, but did anything else additionally, kind of stand out as to the progress he's making week to week?
Yeah, I think, he's been working, man. He has been working. We have been working. And again, I think anytime you take the relationship of a coordinator and a quarterback every week, you just get a better feel for one another. He's done a really nice job of everything we've talked about, of getting the ball out on time. Really, again, you look at the completion percentage thing, that's something we're tracking, and for him to go out there and be close to 80% against that defense is pretty impressive. So he's got the right stuff, he's got the right makeup. Aside from just how he's playing, I think there's a toughness standpoint and the ability to just stay the course. Those are two things, like we've said, you can't teach, and he's got those things.
Did you know he had that elusive? Obviously he can make plays with his legs, but those plays where it looked like he was sacked, and then all of a sudden he kind of squared up. Did you know he had that in him?
Yeah, I've always thought he has plus athleticism. He just has always surprised me in that way. I think for him now, and he knows this, to take the next step, like we all know, is you got to choose the right spots. And so just looking back at that game where there was a sack on 3rd and 6 in field goal range, or the interception on the right side, then there's the 2-3 big plays, and so playing that position, there's always going to be the criticism when it doesn't work out, and when it does, the praise. And so for him to just pick his spots, continue to develop that's obviously a huge key for him.
Do you find that you and Cutter continue to learn more about each other and how to work together better?
Absolutely. I think, again, we have shifted in the last 2-3 weeks completely in a lot of ways for us offensively, and trying to put the best plan together for us to have success. So it's schematically we've changed, mindset-wise, and coaching him we have changed a ton. And we were just talking this morning, him and I, and again, I think it's, he's showing a ton of emotion, and that's how much he cares, and that's what, this town knows. There's nobody who wants it more than him, but he's also got to realize how he's playing right now is due to the work he's put in the last couple of weeks, and there's a lot to be proud of.
I think it was before his first start, somebody asked you what you wanted to see, and you said, let it rip.
Yeah.
How has that aged? What have you seen in that regard?
Yeah, it's easy to say that, and then all of a sudden a guy lets it rip and turns the ball over 5 times, and it's the opposite. I just, again, it's the toughness thing, right? Even when he makes his first start, he goes to Georgia and he takes hits. It's just like mentally he's not too up and down. Like he knows what he's got to do. He knows what he's got to do to get better. I don't think he's listening to the outside noise too much, one way or another, whether it's good or bad. And he's come out here and been extremely deliberate about his work.
The game plan that you all have kind of developed over the last few weeks, does it work the same way against the Tennessee defense that might be a little more aggressive, or do you have to change things up a little bit this week?
Yeah, you always are trying to make some tweaks here and there, but I think in general, through football, you got to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands. That's been something we have made a huge emphasis on, and getting them early completions and being more balanced. It always comes with the explosive thing. How are we going to create more explosives? As you guys know, when you take those shots, a lot of times you got to hold up longer, and those can be riskier calls. And so we got to know the right time to take those shots, but there's a lot of good things I think he's doing that's putting our offense in a good position.
You said you changed schematically. Is that a reference to getting it out quicker, or is there more to it than that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as we look at it, just trying to eliminate the negative plays and even just the mindset of getting them early completions, getting the ball to Kendrick Law as early and as quick as we can. It's again trying to formulate, giving yourself the best chance to win football games. We were obviously close last week against a good football team and couldn't finish. So
You rode with Jason for a little while Seth was out in that game. What is he doing to earn more a bigger role?
I think he gives us the second best option, certainly in the pass game as well. And so in some of those situations, with us wanting to get Seth an increased role in the pass game, a lot of times we still call for Seth, even though he's down, to let Jay know that Jason is in there. And so I think for some of those things that happened, he's been able to just be out there and do the right thing and know what to do with maybe limited reps in practice. But Dante's done a nice job for us, and we're equally as confident in him as well.
What do you need to see from the O-line, more of from the O-line?
It's tricky. I mean, I think these are physical defenses we played, so I've challenged those guys. I mean, I think our longest run was the quarterback run, and that's where it just goes back to, like, I think the longest rush we had was an 11-yard gain. And so, and it's uphill sledding. I mean, it's tough. There ain't no doubt about it. That's a good defensive line we saw last week. This will be as good a defensive line that we've seen all year. And so they just got to continue to bring that physicality, work to own the line of scrimmage, because it's a much different feeling when that does happen.
People think about Tennessee, they think about that up-tempo offense, but their defense is flying below the radar because it's pretty good, isn't it?
I think statistically, what's interesting about them is they defend more plays than most people. But if they did not, you're looking at a defense even right now who is leading the conference in negative plays and sacks and doing a great job getting turnovers. They're extremely disruptive. And so, again, we think from a personnel standpoint, this will be as good a defense as we'll see.
Ridley made a couple good catches in that game. How have you seen his development over the course of the year?
Yeah, I think he's got, I've talked about him for a while. I think when he plays on Saturdays, he's physical. He can make people miss. He's confident. As he has continued to work on his preparation and Monday through Friday, if you will, make it as important as he can, he continues to just keep getting better.
You talked about the front that Tennessee has, but how do they play on the back end that you need Cutter to be prepared for?
Yeah, I think they do a really good job of mixing a lot of coverage, and so, I think Coach Banks is one of the hardest guys to go up against, because it doesn't matter what the situation is. You do the breakdowns as we look at it, and there's 18 clips in this situation, and about 5 of them are this coverage, 5 of them are that coverage, 4 are this coverage, and then there's man sprinkled in there. And so it's got to be a game where, again, conceptually, we're not throwing too much at him, things he knows, so he can go and play fast, recognize coverage, and just continue to play fast.
I don't think when you were getting ready for the season in July, you anticipated Cutter dropping back 40 times in a game. How has that not only changed what you had to do, but how do you think he's handled that additional responsibility?
I think he's a gunslinger, so for him, I think he wants to throw it 60 times a game. For me, yeah, I mean, that is partly, the change we've made in the last 2 to 3 weeks from a standpoint of looking at some of those throws as an extension of our run game, and how can we gain yardage by getting the ball on the perimeter fast and being physical on the perimeter. So I think he's done a nice job, knock on wood. We just got to keep building. Again, the progress, from where he was 3 weeks ago to the Georgia start to where he's at now is a testament to the work he's put in. Mike Hartline's done a great job with him. Everything we've been working towards, he's doing a good job.
Coach, to kind of piggyback off that, this program's been crying out for a homegrown quarterback. Done a lot of transfer quarterbacks recently. How nice is it to see Cutter slowly but surely blossom into that SEC standard play calling?
I think it's big time. I think even more so, man, just from the standpoint of the transfer portal, for Kentucky to have a guy, if he can continue to play the way he plays, just going into an offseason, similar, trying to create some type of continuity is critical, because the reality is what I think we're all facing is, a bunch of new players and new quarterbacks, and it takes a while to kind of figure it all out and get on the same page. And so I think that's a huge plus.
One more?
You're in your second year in the SEC now. What's it been like for you to adjust, or have you had to adjust the way you do your job, because you're going up against bigger, stronger, faster athletes?
Yeah, you certainly have to adjust. I think, we've had to earn everything, and that's the part of this conference, I think. Whatever it was last game, 26 first downs, and just kind of gradually moving it. So there's an adjustment there. Again, certainly in the thought process of getting the ball out as quick as you can, we've had to adjust. We spent a lot of time working on the third down plan last week. And again, it's not just studying us, but it's studying conference-wide on, how fast those edges are and all that. So certainly make your adjustments. Again, I think what we've done in the last couple of weeks, there's certainly been a ton of progress. But we understand as well. We understand the criticism. We know we have to execute. We know we have to finish drives, and that's obviously the disappointing thing from a week ago.
What do you mean about it? Last one and everything.
Well, I just think, there's times, in certain situations where, Ashton Genty's getting a handoff, and next thing you know, there's a 52-yard gain, and next thing you know, you got 21 points on the board, and so there's some of that adjusting. It just is what it is. We have to earn every drive, and I think that's where this league is kind of at right now. You see it with our 14-play drives, 16-play drives, and unfortunately on those kind of drives, like, all it takes is one breakdown, one bad play call, one issue, and next thing you know, you're settling for points. And I think about it in a lot of situations. I think about being aggressive in that game on a 3rd and 6, and we're in field goal range, and we take a sack, and now we don't get points. It's you gotta pull at it at the right time here. You have to. You got to be smart. You got to take points when you can take points, because when we're playing our best, these games are coming down to 1-score games.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.